No one can deny that New York Fashion Week is a phenomenal event, but there are tons of rules models must follow. It's not about just standing there and looking like a statuesque goddess. There are things going on behind the scenes that you wouldn't believe. Make sure you watch this video until the end to see what it really takes to get these models runway ready. Getting mentally prepared. To say that New York Fashion Week is an exciting and stressful time is a total understatement. When the show officially begins on February 4, 2019, models will already be stressed out of their minds. They'll most likely be running on fumes because, let's face it, they probably had zero sleep, and yet they have to stay energetic and focused at all times. Most models have their routine figured out ahead of time, so when they hit the runway, it's like their bodies rely on muscle memory to do all the work. But the mayhem doesn't begin on the day of the event. It starts several months in advance. Models will have to deal with demanding casting calls, rehearsals, and fittings. Before the start of each show, a model will meet with the designers for final fittings. This is how the powers that be determine what a model will wear and how they'll showcase the design. But on the day of the event, models will have to get up pretty early in the morning to get their hair and makeup done. They also have to prepare to do multiple shows throughout the week. As you can imagine, they barely have time to eat. But part of being a model is knowing how to function under pressure. So, a healthy diet is very important, but so is having thick skin, because there's a lot that can go wrong at this event. And speaking of skin, models go through an insane skin regime that gives Kim Kardashian's beauty routine a run for its money. Skin prep. A model's life during this important event involves beautiful gowns, fabulous after parties, and rubbing elbows with big celebs. But models aren't simply judged by what they wear, but how their skin looks. They have to maintain an insane beauty regimen because there isn't an inch of skin that doesn't go untouched at New York Fashion Week. Models are often airbrushed before a big show. In most cases, there will be about 30 makeup artists ready to give a model the touch-up she needs. But in order to have flawless skin, models can't simply rely on face masks, creams, or makeup artists working behind the scenes. They also have to watch what they eat. A well-balanced diet does wonders to keep their skin looking extra flawless. Drinking lots of water doesn't hurt either. In fact, the more hydrated a model is, the better her complexion will be. But they also have to watch out for foods that can irritate the skin, like fish. But that doesn't even begin to cover all the things they need to be careful with. Models have to reapply foundation, bronzer, and concealer between shows. It seems like a necessary evil when modeling in the chilly New York weather, and it does help maintain the illusion of flawless-looking skin. Only problem is, this can cause your skin to break out. But if you thought models only have to worry about their skin, think again. Training like a beast. Everyone wants to look fabulous and fit for a week of photo ops, and that includes New York Fashion Week editors and stylists. But models have to work extra hard to get in the best shape possible, so they go to the gym to prep ahead of time and look their absolute best. Bowery Studio, a fitness mecca located in Tribeca, often receives clients from the fashion industry, and they all have the same goal in common. They want to pump it up hard before the big event and tone every inch of their bodies. But this isn't like popping into a local gym to do cardio for an hour. The daily 2-hour workouts are intense and include a complete circuit training with a personal trainer. These studios offer Fashion Week prep packages that are seriously badass. They even come with heart rate monitor training in order to make sure models meet their measurement requirements. But a model's secret tips for looking great during Fashion Week include sonogram measurements too. Sonograms are used to pinpoint fat pockets so models can make sure they're losing fat in the areas they need the most. The prep packages also include a customized nutrition program in order to detox, cleanse, and lose weight. But the right kind of food also helps keep a model in perfect shape. Food and sacrifices. Losing an opportunity to walk the runway at New York Fashion Week because they slacked off is a major career ender. So staying as lean as humanly possible is pretty much expected. To do this, models will resort to eating specific foods that keep them healthy and thin. So what's on their shopping list? Well, a model diet is usually packed with some omega-3 and fiber like avocado and chia pudding. So eating eggs and spinach is a great idea since they're packed with protein, vitamin C, and magnesium. To wash that down, a model will often go for some green tea, which is full of slimming benefits. And if they get hungry before lunch, they might go for a matcha latte instead of a Starbucks mocha. But what about the rest of the day? Well, for lunch and dinner, models can choose between salad, fish, or chicken. That doesn't sound too bad now, does it? But other models have their own tricks to look great. Just ask Bella Hadid. Bella's beauty trick. In case you didn't know, Bella is the ultimate it girl in the modeling industry. The girl's spectacularly pretty, but she's also human too, so whenever she needs to depuff a little, she'll start her day off with some lemon water. It's a regular thing too, and she believes it's healthier than drinking water alone. But when she eats unhealthy foods, she'll go on a Monday through Wednesday cleanse that includes lemon water and juices. She'll also eat plenty of greens in order to flush all the stuff she doesn't need out of her system. But when models aren't sure what they should eat and what they should avoid, they have one important person that they call: nutritionists on call. Models might look flawless, but they're only human after all, so when they go out to a restaurant or a party, they might be tempted to treat themselves. But how do they know if they're ruining their diet? After all, they're supposed to look slender for the show. But if a model is ever in doubt, they have trainers and nutritionists on call to guide them. But with so many temptations out there, it's comforting to know that models have someone like Sarah Levy, who works at Barry's studio. She gets tons of texts and menu pictures from various models questioning potential food choices, and Levy will always be on hand to keep them on the straight and narrow. Obviously, things like meatballs and champagne are out of the question. Levy advises models to avoid dairy products and red meat like the plague, but she'll always give a thumbs up to anything green. In fact, she recommends that all models stick to a plant-based diet during New York Fashion Week instead of crash diets. Evidently, models can't just rely on good genes and killer legs. Drinking lots of water. So what's a model's favorite beverage? Well, that one should be pretty obvious. Water has 0 calories and it's a must for a model's diet. Water flushes out toxins and keeps the skin looking nice and clear. But there's another positive benefit. Models tend to drink water all day long because it makes them feel full. So when it's time for lunch or dinner, they won't feel the urge to ruin their diets with junk food. But sometimes water can taste a little blah, so models have some clever ways to enhance the flavor. We already mentioned how Bella drinks lemon water. But did you know that drinking matcha tea is just like drinking a glass of water? You get more bonuses too, like extra energy. Matcha gives models a metabolic boost, which helps their bodies burn a ton of fat. Positive attitude. Being a model can be pretty stressful. It's why keeping a positive attitude is so important. It helps models cope with the demands and struggles of being under pressure. It also makes it easier to deal with everything that could go wrong. Having a positive attitude is a great way to keep their emotions in check. After all, they have to remain cool, calm, and collected at all times. Models don't always have the luxury of dealing with nice people behind the scenes. There are makeup artists and directors who are so stressed out that they'll have less than friendly attitudes. But positivity acts like a shield, deflecting negativity away from these beauties. A positive attitude also helps models remain upbeat when interacting with people before and after the runway. This might sound pretty simple, but when you've been on your feet in high-heel shoes with 0 sleep, you'll need all the positivity you can get. And if a model starts to feel negativity creeping in, there's always meditation. It's a great mood stabilizer too. Once the night is over, a hot bath with some Epsom salts and some candles can help a model recharge for the next day. And they'll need to meditate a lot to forget about eating for a day. The no food rule. There are some truly strange and disturbing ways models stay thin in order to look their best for New York Fashion Week. For starters, they can't drink any liquids at all 12 hours before the event. And it definitely makes sense as it would make them really bloated. After all, the world's there to check out the new collections and their sculpted abs and stunning physiques. But a model can't eat any food on the day of the show either. Putting their bodies through such extremes for this show can be difficult to maintain, which is why so many models recommend meditation. Many of them wind up feeling hungry and exhausted while avoiding solid or liquid supplements. Some even experience dehydration, which explains why there's a doctor on hand in case a model collapses before or during a show. But you really can't argue with the results. These women always look like angels walking on earth. Some might even lose about as much as 8 pounds just by sticking to this frightening diet technique before the show. Hair, makeup, lights, camera. Each year, models attending New York Fashion Week spend hours in the makeup chair to enhance their already gorgeous looks. But why does it take so long to do their hair and makeup? Well, a stylist's main priority is to make a model look like they're basically photoshopped in real life. This requires adding layers of foundation and concealer and then blending them to perfection. But there's a long list of products that give models that healthy glow, and it's not always easy getting primer, foundation, and liquid highlighter to mesh well with their skin. And if you see a tanned model, well, chances are that she's wearing wearing a ton of bronzers too. So clearly, getting prepped is a lengthy process. The same applies to hair, which has to get teased, brushed, and styled to meet the vision of the designer. But we're guessing this is a great time for models to take power naps and recharge until they're done, because later on, they'll have to practice their walk until they're ready to go out and make an impression. And believe us when we say that being a model walking down the runway during Fashion Week is a major accomplishment. The catwalk is the modern-day stage where designers get to tell their story, but the spotlight will be on the muses too. So now is the time to shine bright like a diamond. Will all that hard effort pay off in the end? I guess we'll have to tune in and watch the show, right? Do you think all the rules these models put in for New York Fashion Week are worth it in the end? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to The Taco.